Chapter 71, Infernal Bone Dragon. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Little Karami. Take my sword. The spirit sword master shook the long sword vigorously, a silver light streaked across the sky, instantly cutting all the skeleton birds and some skeleton generals into two pieces. At the same time, various killing prompts sounded. Your pet spirit sword master successfully killed the undead demon dog, gained 1534 experience, and the current growth progress is 65%. Your pet spirit sword master successfully killed the undead crow, gained 2419 experience, and the current growth progress is 67%. But Luo Yang's attention was still on the necromancer. This guy can summon the undead continuously, which is great news for me. Now the necromancer doesn't look so ugly. Luo Yang clapped his hands and was very excited. It was a disaster for others, but for Luo Yang it was simply a walking experience bag. The key is that the experience is more than killing normal monsters, and the number is countless. Where can you encounter such a good thing? Can you let it go? And you have to take your time to get the wool. It's meaningless to get it all at once. The necromancer must be squeezed dry before letting him die. Necromancer. Is this really polite? Seeing that the attack was ineffective, the necromancer's eyes flickered a few times, and suddenly, the staff in his hand shook gently. Hualala! Layers of black smoke enveloped the area, instantly covering all the skeleton creatures within 100 meters. The original skeleton soldiers were constantly decomposing. Countless white skeletons were merging into a new behemoth, the Undead Knight. The Undead Knight was more than 10 meters tall, covered with thick black armor, like a giant chariot, wearing black armor on his head, with a trident hanging around his waist, and exuding a strong breath all over his body, suffocating. Roar! The Undead Knight roared to the sky, and with a roar, he set off a violent wind and waves, and rolled down towards Luo Yang. The hurricane swept over, blowing up Luo Yang's clothes. This necromancer is something. The more creatures he summons, the more experience he gains. Why does it still feel a little insufficient? This is more interesting. I like it. The sword master licked his lips. The Gear magic dice had no sense of existence beside him. There was nothing he could do. It was an auxiliary pet, and although it had combat power, its combat power was basically negligible, not to mention that it spanned so many levels. He could only stare at the side with his eyes, and occasionally cast a skill on the sword master to help her recover and increase her power. The rest of the time he could only bully some skeleton soldiers who had no combat power. The sword master stepped hard with his legs, and his body flew into the air. She jumped up more than 10 meters high, holding the sword in both hands, and slashed down fiercely. Swish, swish, swish. Wherever the sword passed, the void was torn into a 5 or 6 meter wide crack. A huge sword light slashed down towards the Undead Knight. Bang! The Undead Knight slammed his legs on the ground, making a loud noise, and the whole person shot into the sky like a cannonball. Seeing this, the spirit sword master immediately turned around and swept across. Silver-white sword beams burst out from the tip of the sword and slashed down into the sky. Boom! A huge explosion sounded, and dust flew. A huge sword light flashed through the smoke and slashed on the ground. Bang! The earth cracked into huge gullies, swallowing all the skeleton creatures around it. The Undead Knight was cut in half and turned into a pile of ashes. Your pet beast spirit sword master successfully killed the undead, and gained 6,269 experience points. The current growth progress is 100%. Growth progress is full. Your pet beast is upgraded to level 27. After the Undead Knight died, the surrounding skeleton soldiers fled like injured wild wolves. However, Luo Yang would never let them escape. His body shook, and a series of sharp sword chi whistled out, wiping out all the undead creatures. The experience value suddenly increased to 100%. The spirit sword master was directly upgraded by 2 levels. The pleasure of upgrading made the spirit sword master look happy. Even though the Gear magic dice did not cause any damage, it still received experience points for participating in the battle and was upgraded by 1 level. You can upgrade by slacking off, which is very suitable for a lazy person like me. The Gear magic dice shrank to the size of a fist, and then fell on Luo Yang's shoulder, and they admired the fighting style of the spirit sword master together. As more and more undead creatures fell, The necromancer was extremely angry when he saw this. As the chief priest of the undead clan, he was actually provoked by an outsider, and he felt insulted. It was simply rubbing the dignity of the undead clan on the ground. His eyes were red. He must make the other party pay the price. As the huge dark magic circle lit up, the soul fire in the necromancer's body burned to the peak, and even the hand holding the Book of the Dead began to tremble. Luo Yang looked at the necromancer and smiled. Start to use the big move. That a huge skeleton monster was summoned in the dark magic circle. What is this? Luo Yang frowned, feeling that this skeleton monster was much stronger than any creature he had encountered before. What creature was summoned? Book of the Dead, Purgatory Bone Dragon, appear. That the necromancer uttered a spell. Suddenly, a terrifying evil power emanated from an ancient book in his hand that was as black as ink. This was a black cover with a few big words Code of the Dead written on it. Ha 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 ha. The necromancer laughed wildly. Great Purgatory Bone Dragon, I summon you to come and use your great divine power to tear the enemy in front of you to pieces. Ah! As the necromancer's words fell, the bones in the dark magic circle began to wriggle wildly, as if trying to break free from their restraints. Then, the black bone dragon slowly stood up. It was more than 20 meters tall, and its body was as black as ink, as if it was cast in steel. The dragon's head was ferocious, its fangs were sharp, and there was a cluster of flames burning deep in its eye sockets, and a destructive power spread. Roar. The Purgatory Bone Dragon roared to the sky, opened its bloody mouth, and bit the ground. A crack spread out from its big mouth, plowing a deep gully in the ground. At the same time, strong and powerful bone spurs emerged from the cracks, each of which was covered with barbs and mixed with the breath of the dead, attacked Luo Yang and the spirit sword user in the distance. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. Bone spears flew out one after another, densely attacking the two people at a very fast speed. Bang! A muffled sound came, and a bone spear hit the spirit sword, making a crisp sword sound. The long sword shook, directly shaking the bone spear away. Chapter 72 Skill Forgotten. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. The bone spear bounced back and stabbed into the ground, leaving a bottomless crack. There was a faint dark breath emanating from the crack. Name, Purgatory Bone Dragon. Attribute, Undead. Feature, Undead Domain. Level, LV35. Superb. Potential, LV63. Monarch. Racial skills, 1, Bone Spike, 812/1000, Handy, 2. Undead Chain, 920/1000, Handy, 3. Undead Breath, 831/1000. Evolution Route, 5. Luo Yang showed an excited look on his face. The stronger the Purgatory Bone Dragon showed, the experience he would gain might help the Spirit Sword Master break through level 1. This training speed was like taking a plane, and the power contained in the bone spear just now was absolutely beyond imagination. If Luo Yang was hit by it, he would also be seriously injured. Roar! At this moment, another earth-shattering roar was heard. Boom! The Purgatory Bone Dragon flew down from the sky. A monstrous demonic energy gushed out from the body of the Purgatory Bone Dragon, burning the air with crackling sounds, and a foul-smelling corrosive force spread out. Luo Yang was horrified. Not good. Retreat! The Spirit Sword Master's face also changed drastically. Roar! The Purgatory Bone Dragon raised its head and roared, slapping Luo Yang with one claw. Luo Yang jumped back in one step to avoid the attack of the Purgatory Bone Dragon, but the Purgatory Bone Dragon slapped down with one claw. Instantly, the space shook, and the whole land seemed to collapse. Crack! Crack! The ground cracked into cracks, as dense as a spider web. The Spirit Sword Master casually drew a sword flower and slashed at the Purgatory Bone Dragon. Boom! The Spirit Sword collided with the claws of the Purgatory Bone Dragon. The two terrifying forces collided instantly. The sword energy of the Spirit Sword Master was instantly shattered, and the claws of the Purgatory Bone Dragon were also cut off. The Purgatory Bone Dragon roared in pain. The flames in its eye sockets became more vigorous, and the dragon claws that had been cut off grew again. Roar! The Purgatory Bone Dragon roared, and a strong power of death emanated from its body, the domain of the undead. A series of black light circles emerged out of thin air, and behind him gathered a huge skull in the form of dark elements. The huge mouth opened wide, and a series of strong and suffocating death forces spread out, making Luo Yang feel that he had difficulty breathing. This guy still has something on him. Suppress it for me. The Purgatory Bone Dragon's claws swung violently, and the dark element suddenly turned into huge chains, covered with black runes, sweeping towards the Spirit Sword Master. The horror of the domain of the undead is that it can devour all nearby undead creatures and use them for its own use. It is equivalent to having an endless supply of power in it. Once the undead realm appears, even the strong ones who are higher than it will die on the spot, and it is immortal in the undead realm. Once the undead realm is formed, it cannot disappear. I want to see what you can do. Purgatory Bone Dragon said coldly. Break it for me. The Spirit Sword Master snorted coldly. The GE demon dice understood and turned its body madly. The red and black energies poured out, occupying half of the sky and spreading to the surroundings. Let's do 999. The number on the dice finally rolled to 9. 3 999s represent the maximum effect of the Doom Curse, and the skill of Temporary Forgetfulness will be the highest level of all skills. This shake number also depends on luck, then the two attributes of good luck and bad luck intertwined, and the light soared into the sky. Doom Curse, descend. The red power of good luck fell on the Spirit Sword Master, blooming with brilliant brilliance. The black power of bad luck fell on the Purgatory Bone Dragon. As luck entered the body, the Spirit Sword made the aura in the body continue to rise, and a layer of light golden armor condensed on its surface, and the aura on the body far exceeded the peak. The aura of the Purgatory Bone Dragon continued to decline, and it could not be restored in a short time. Bang bang bang, the Doom Curse fell on the Purgatory Bone Dragon. The Purgatory Bone Dragon felt the blood in the body churning, and couldn't help but groan. The body shook a few times, and the soul fire dimmed a lot for a while. There was a significant decline in physical fitness and other aspects. The effect of the Doom Curse has been triggered. The Purgatory Bone Dragon suddenly felt that his mind was suddenly blank, and it seemed to have forgotten something extremely important. Then the undead realm disappeared out of thin air. Except for the residual energy that proved that it had been used, there was no trace. It forgot the skills. It couldn't even remember its name. It was as if a magical hand had erased part of its memory out of thin air, but this was just its guess. The power of doom only temporarily seals all the memories of related skills, and will return to the original state after the cooling time is over. But in this short period of time, the situation on the battlefield is also changing. The Purgatory Bone Dragon was extremely panicked. Even though it was a dragon, it had seen many big scenes, but it had never heard of this skill. Its terrifying means were simply horrifying. If this skill is used well, it would be a magical skill. At this time, a pair of dragon eyes looked at Luo Yang with fear on their faces. How did you do this? The Purgatory Bone Dragon asked in a trembling voice. It didn't expect that it would fall into this kid's hands. Luo Yang glanced at it indifferently, without wasting words to explain. I know, demons, you are demons. Demons from hell. Purgatory Bone Dragon shouted sharply. Its eyes were full of fear, and it couldn't believe that there were people in the world who could perform such a weird skill. Gear Magic Dice heard the roar of Purgatory Bone Dragon and smiled with satisfaction. Just kidding, although I can't fight, my assistant is not a vegetarian. If he wasn't afraid of not having a sense of participation, he wouldn't bother to do it. Roar. Kill. The Spirit Sword Master shouted coldly and performed the sword trick again, rushed towards Purgatory Bone Dragon. The sword in his hand flashed cold light, cutting through the air with a hint of fierce momentum. Purgatory Bone Dragon felt cold all over, and had no power to resist at all. Even if there was a chance to escape, the Dragon Clan regarded dignity as life, which was engraved in their souls. So it would rather die in battle than bow its head. Puff. The Spirit Sword Master pierced the head of the Purgatory Bone Dragon with a sword, killing it completely. A huge skull fell from the sky, smashing a huge pit. The soul fire inside the dragon head was extinguished. Your pet beast Spirit Sword Master successfully killed the 35th level Purgatory Bone Dragon, gained 31,000 experience, and the current growth progress is 100%. Growth progress is full, automatically converted to level. Spirit Sword Master breaks through to level 29. Seeing the great Purgatory Bone Dragon fall, the Necromancer panicked, and kept muttering, damn it, how could this happen? You are a Purgatory Bone Dragon, how can you be defeated by a group of ants? I am not willing to accept it, I am not willing to accept it, I must revive the Purgatory Bone Dragon, my strength has not been fully restored, I must restore my strength as soon as possible, that the necromancer's eyes were red. Xiao Ling, this guy is no longer useful, kill him. Luo Yang said lightly, the spirit sword master nodded, teleported to the necromancer, and killed him. The experience prompt sounded. At the same time, after killing the necromancer, something actually fell from his body. Chapter 73, Purgatory Token. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. A gray token, the token is engraved with ancient and mysterious runes, exuding a mysterious atmosphere. What is this? Luo Yang reached out and took the token in his hand, and waves of strange fluctuations were transmitted from it. Luo Yang felt the fluctuations on the token, his face changed slightly, and he muttered to himself, this should be some treasure, right? And it can't be an ordinary item if it can be dropped from the Purgatory Bone Dragon. Purgatory Token. Function. Summon a Purgatory Bone Dragon of the same level as the owner to fight. Note, the level does not exceed the peak of the extraordinary, and the summoned will have all the memories of the Purgatory Bone Dragon before his death, including skills. The battle lasts for 30 minutes, and the number of uses, 3, okay, I thought it was a treasure, but it turned out to be a rag. And the number of uses, forget it, find time to sell it. Luo Yang rolled his eyes, he was looking forward to it for a long time, the result is just this. He threw it into the storage bag to eat dust. Purgatory Bone Dragon, is this really polite? Let's go. We have plenty of time, let's continue exploring. I am looking forward to this sacrifice of the dead more and more. After exploring for 3 hours, Luo Yang and his team came to a deserted city. The architectural style in the city is very different from that of humans. Some buildings are carved with all kinds of fierce creatures, and some are carved with hideous and terrifying animal heads. In the center of the deserted city is a 300-meter-high altar, which is carved with various patterns and mysterious patterns. Under the altar is an extremely wide street. There are countless undead living in the deserted city, and there are several extremely terrifying auras inside. Even the spirit sword user felt a sense of shock. Luo Yang guessed that he should have reached the peak of transcendence. He is the most powerful existence in this secret realm. The strongest aura is probably the undead priest, the master of the secret realm of the sacrifice of the dead, but due to the space limitation of the secret realm, unless he can escape from the secret realm, he will never be able to break through the Lord in this life, but in the secret realm, it has supreme right to speak, and is respected by all undead creatures. With Luo Yang's current strength, provoking it is tantamount to seeking death. Fortunately, Luo Yang also has self-knowledge. He only dared to clean up the undead creatures outside the deserted city, and the teleportation array talisman was always in his hand, ready to run away at any time if any problem occurred. After clearing all the undead inside, the growth of the spirit sword user has also reached half, and the Gear magic dice has broken through level 1. Now there are only undead in the inner circle, and they are very close to the undead priest, so Luo Yang dare not act rashly. He looked at the time, it feels that it is almost time. This trip to the secret realm has gained a lot. The strength of the spirit sword user and the Gear magic dice has greatly improved. Luo Yang hurriedly checked the information of the spirit sword user and the Gear magic dice. Name, Spirit Sword Master. Attribute, Gold. Feature, Clear Sword Heart. Level, LV29, Superclass. Potential, LV60, Monarch Class. Racial Skills, Speed, 4190/5000. Mastered, Starbreaking Sword Chi 2810/5000. Mastered. Comprehension Skills, Blessing, 3720/5000. Mastered, Heavenslaying Sword Art, 4091/10000. Mastered, Gold Armor Art, 2132/5000. Mastered, Sword Shadow Clone, 3002/5000. Mastered. Alienation Route, 1. Alienation Route, Monarch Class, Spirit Sword Master. Disaster Class, Spirit Sword Master. Name, GE Magic Dice. Attributes, G, Evil. Features, G and Evil flow together. Level, LV28, Superclass. Potential, LV-75, Monarch Class. Racial Skills, 1, God-Given Luck, 2180/5000, Mastered, 2. Demon Curse, 1240/5000, Mastered. Comprehension Skills, 1, Healing Aura, 1003/5000, Mastered, 2. Blessing Aura, 1522/5000, Mastered. Alienation Route, 1. Alienation Route, Monarch Class, GE Magic Dice, Disaster Class, GE Dice King. Luo Yang felt a sense of accomplishment after reading it. Isn't it the pride of a Beastmaster to grow stronger as his pet becomes stronger? This training process is extremely comfortable. Watching the pet grow stronger bit by bit, the Spirit Sword Master was upgraded by 3 levels in the Secret Realm, and the GE Magic Dice was also upgraded by 2 levels. Luo Yang left the Secret Realm in a good mood. He traveled around in the next few days, while others were still preparing for the Beast Taming College entrance examination. Luo Yang had already started to enjoy life, branded wine, listen to opera. On the eve of going to the academy, Luo Yang found Wu Jing and told him all his plans. After listening to him, Wu Jing understood. He didn't expect that Luo Kid would have such great ambitions, but now that he has stood up after his death, he recalled the tragedy of the Wu family being exterminated, and the seeds of hatred are constantly taking root and sprouting. Luo Kid, you can rest assured to study further. Leave this matter to me, and if I can't do it, then basically no one can do it. Wu Jing assured Luo Yang with his chest clasped. Since following this kid, he feels that his mentality has become much younger, and the key is that he is more energetic and has a feeling of being old and strong. I'm relieved to leave this matter to Mr. Wu, and I will contact you when I need you in the academy. We can keep in touch at any time. That's great. Then I'll go back and prepare. Luo Yang nodded and chuckled. This feeling of planning and strategizing is really desirable. On the day of going to Qingyun Academy, Mo2 told Luo Yang that he also found a good seedling in the city near Angxi and needed to stay there for a day, asked him whether to wait for him or go to Qingyun Academy to meet him. Luo Yang finally chose to go ahead. You can see different scenery. Then Luo Yang boarded the Dragon Earthworm train to Qingyun Academy. The train was transformed from underground dragon earthworms, but a carriage was added inside the dragon earthworm. This ensures the comfort of passengers. Along the way, you can also enjoy the beautiful scenery on the road, which is refreshing and poetic. The dragon earthworm train is specially used to travel long distances. The dragon earthworm is hard and extremely smooth. Even if it encounters a monster on the route, it cannot be broken. People ride in the dragon earthworm. The carriage is made of special materials. You can't see the scenery inside from the outside, but you can see the scenery outside from the inside. You can see that every carriage in the dragon earthworm train is full of passengers. Luo Yang finally found his seat after a long journey. A few minutes later, the dragon earthworm train started slowly. Luo Yang felt that although the dragon earthworm train was huge, it was extremely stable and not bumpy. It seems that the choice of dragon earthworm as a train is the reason for stable progress. Luo Yang thought to himself. Soon, the dragon earthworm train slowly drove out of Angxi. Luo Yang looked up. From a distance, the entire Angxi was a blue and clear, as if it could reflect the water surface. Luo Yang couldn't help but exclaimed, after so many years, the next time we meet, it will be a different scene. Chapter 74, Trouble in the Car Ride. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Luo Yang sat by the window on the dragon earthworm train, watching the disappearing scenes. He felt a little reluctant, but more of it was expectation. Looking forward to this bigger stage. Here I come. The dragon earthworm train was filled with fragrance, and the noisy sound accompanied by beautiful music easily aroused the sleepiness in his heart. Luo Yang yawned and leaned against the window and fell asleep. Blue Star is extremely vast, and the distance between each city is very far, and it takes external forces to travel between major cities. Later, the Alliance military combined monsters with technology to solve people's troubles in crossing cities. Even taking the dragon earthworm train, it takes nearly a day to arrive. Crystal cores, animal skins, spiritual power fruits, you can't buy them at a loss or be fooled. Do you need them? Madam, please take your legs. God of Destiny, calculate the sky, calculate the earth, calculate yourself. There are also attendants in the dragon earthworm train who are selling things, but what they sell is not peanuts and melon seeds, rather, they are some cultivation items that are helpful to beastmasters. The prices are a bit more expensive than those sold outside, there are even fortune tellers, and there is nothing to be marveled at. Of course, Luoyang has no shortage of these things. But there are also many people who are very interested in them. Maybe it is the first time to ride the dragon earthworm train, and they look at these curiously, and then ask out loud. How much is this fire-tailed lizard crystal core? 4,000 yuan. Then give me one. It needs to stop at 6 cities along the way to Qingyun Academy. The dragon earthworm train will speed up when it encounters mountains, and slow down when it encounters beautiful scenery, giving passengers the best riding experience without affecting the forward time. A seat next to Luoyang is empty, a man and a woman opposite. They seem to be a couple, very intimate, slept for more than 2 hours. The dragon earthworm train has passed one station, it is about to arrive at the next station. The scenery outside the window gradually changes, a small town appears in Luoyang's eyes. This is a quaint town. Luoyang saw a row of vigorous words written on the 2 stone lions at the entrance of the town. Nanshan City. The train will arrive at Nanshan City next. Passengers getting off, please take your belongings with you. I wish you a pleasant journey. Nanshan City has a wide variety of plants, and the architectural style here is also very special, which is different from other places. Some houses are also very unique, as if telling history. Many people can be seen wearing different clothes on the streets. Their skin colors are different, but they can't hide their strong and powerful bodies. Is this Nanshan City? It's so big. Luoyang said with some surprise as he looked at the huge city in front of him. The streets of Nanshan City are wide and bright, with shops on both sides, most of which are storefronts, and various monsters can be seen driving on the road. Occasionally, 1 or 2 families are fiddling with herbs or planting trees in the courtyard, looking very leisurely. After arriving at the station, a girl, about 20 years old, was already sitting in the seat next to Luoyang. The woman was pure and beautiful, with skin as white as snow. She was wearing a white dress, long hair draped over her shoulders like a waterfall, delicate and beautiful features, and eyes as bright as stars. She had a fresh and elegant temperament, just like a girl next door, which made people feel good about her. After putting her things away, the girl took out her wired headphones and put them on. Soft music came from her ears. The girl held the book in both hands and began to read. Luoyang woke up and noticed that there was a girl sitting next to him. Although it was nothing, he was still afraid of unnecessary misunderstandings, especially such a beautiful girl. In order to avoid shooting a popular video on the internet, with a watermelon head special effect, and saying, "Who understands?" Family members. The dragon earthworm train stopped in Nanshan City for 10 minutes and continued to move forward. The girl next to him looked at Luoyang inadvertently, seeing that he was holding a mobile phone in his hand. A trace of surprise flashed across his face, and then he lowered his head to read the book as if nothing had happened. Time passed slowly. There were more and more passengers on the train, a mixed crowd. Some of them looked shifty, their eyes wandering around different people, as if they were looking at something, or they seemed to be looking for a target. After looking around, they set their eyes on the girl sitting next to Luoyang. They had bad intentions, they even bumped their companions with their elbows. After being bumped, the man next to him frowned, raised his arm to block the man's sight, and then glanced at Qingyun with a cold look. The two exchanged glances. "This woman's bag is bulging, there must be good stuff, just steal this girl's." That the two glanced in the air and reached some kind of agreement in an instant. After they came to the empty seat behind Qingyun and sat down, they began to look for opportunities. One of them carefully reached out to the handbag on Qingyun's waist. The girl was still buried in the book, and seemed not to notice someone approaching. As the man's outstretched hand got closer and closer to her handbag, he was about to be caught. Suddenly, a boy next to him looked up after observing for a long time. The thief was stunned, and then subconsciously retracted his arm, but it was too late. The boy grabbed the man's wrist, his eyes were sharp and cold. "What do you want to do? You dare to steal in broad daylight? Don't be afraid, beautiful girl, I'm here, nothing will happen." "Boy, you have no right to control what your father does." The man shook his hand and broke free from the boy's control. His eyes were fierce. "Little jerk, I didn't go to trouble you, but you took the initiative to deliver it to me. Being a hero has to pay a price. As he said that, the thief kicked the man's chest with his right foot. Bang! The man was kicked out directly, he fell heavily to the ground. Ah! You. The man covered his abdomen, his face pale, and groaned in pain. The people around him turned a blind eye. This scene seemed to be commonplace. They had seen this scene many times. These people specifically picked some people who were dressed extraordinary. After all, rich people basically choose to take the Airbus Eagle, and the speed and comfort are not comparable to the Dragon Earthworm train. It is rare to encounter a big background. This is also one of the reasons why they dare to act recklessly. As for the boy who stepped forward, he saw that the object of the theft was a beautiful woman, so he had the idea of saving the beauty, thinking of helping Qingyun out of trouble and taking the opportunity to kiss her, but he didn't expect that this boy was so fierce. At this moment, his intestines were already broken. The thief's accomplices had surrounded him. Boy, if you want to be a hero and save the beauty, you must see if you are strong enough, otherwise the price is not something you can afford. The other two men saw this and quickly pulled out a dagger from their backpacks and rushed towards the man. You. The man was so scared when he saw the two people rushing over, and his face was full of fear. He didn't expect that these people would dare to commit crimes. Brother, I was wrong, I shouldn't have offended you, I deserve to die. After the man said this, he slapped himself wildly with his hands. His pants were even wet with fear, and a smell of urine spread. When the dagger was less than a finger away from the man, Qingyun slowly put the book down and stood up. She gently clamped the dagger between two fingers. The action was done in one go. The dagger on the other side was motionless. No matter how hard the other party tried, it could not move at all. Then he looked at the thieves with cold eyes. Chapter 75, Immortality Cult. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Don't touch my things. The thief trembled with fear when he saw the girl easily blocking his dagger. He didn't expect to encounter hard problems. Catching a sword with bare hands is not something ordinary people can do. The thieves did not expect that this girl who seemed to have an extraordinary temperament could be so strong. Everyone was stunned. Fuck, let's go together. One of them reacted and gritted his teeth. The three of them joined forces and had the capital to fight. If they really broke their teeth and swallowed it, they wouldn't be able to survive in this area. The accumulated majesty is gone. Aha! The three of them brandished daggers and attacked the girl. The girl's eyes narrowed slightly, her figure flashed quickly, a black shadow flashed. The trio's offensive came to an abrupt end. A dagger was held at their throats. If you move again, I will kill you. The girl's tone was calm, but the coldness and evil in her tone made those people stiffen and sweat break out on their foreheads. The girl put the dagger back and turned to glance at them. No one saw that in the girl's handbag, a palm-sized emerald green snake was spitting out letters. Turning around, he dialed the police number for Qingyun City. The next stop, she also knew that these guys were habitual offenders, and letting them go would be like letting the tiger go back to the mountains. By then, more passengers would be threatened, or get to the bottom of it and solve it completely, or you can only choose to let it go. But she wanted to leave this chance to the police. It can be regarded as an explanation to the passengers who have been coerced. You, don't be impulsive. The leading thief's face turned pale. He knew that this seemingly weak girl was not a kind person. All three of them were injured when they joined forces, let alone others. You just stay here and don't move. If you dare to escape, I will kill you directly. By the way, I forgot to tell you that I am a beast master. There will be no punishment for doing justice for heaven, but rewards. Qingyun had given up the idea of escape in just a few words. It seemed better to enter the situation than to die. At least one life can be saved. Sister, don't worry, we won't run away even if you ask us to. The leading thief showed a harmless smile. That's right, I think it's good to be in the game. You'll get food, accommodation and a silver bracelet as a reward. I can't wait to get in as soon as possible. Just because the other party is a beast master also dispelled the little Jojo in their hearts. All of them are extremely well behaved, like docile kittens. It's just that they were already cursing heaven and earth in their hearts, and as soon as they took action, they encountered Wang Jia. and they were covered in shit. When the other passengers around him saw this, they all looked at the girl in shock. The girl's behavior shocked everyone. She just used one move to kill 3 people. This kind of strength is definitely not simple. When they heard her say that she was a beast master, the others understood instantly. Luo Yang was also a little surprised. The girl looked at Wen Jing and struck cleanly, hitting the vital point. Qingyun looked at the boy who heroically saved the beauty. Just glance at it and stop paying attention. Of course, this is just a small episode. Add a touch of fun to Luo Yang's journey. The drive continued for more than an hour. When the Dragon Earth train passed through a valley, it suddenly stopped. At the same time, the announcement inside the Dragon Earth train sounded, and it was accompanied by violent vibrations. The whole carriage shook. Many passengers in the carriage stood up and looked around in panic. At this time, the siren on the train had sounded and kept sounding. People in the carriage kept screaming and running outside. At this time the radio sounded. Dear passengers, please pay attention. The Dragon Earth train has encountered a sudden attack and the situation is unknown. In order to ensure the safety of all passengers, please fasten your seatbelts and don't panic. Passengers, please close your windows immediately. Our staff are investigating the cause. Passengers, please fasten your seatbelts immediately, close the windows immediately and don't make any noise. That the train was filled with urging sounds over and over again. The passengers on the train were all panicked. They rolled up the windows, closed the carriage doors, and hid in the corners, not daring to speak. The same goes for Qingyun and Luo Yang. Luo Yang glanced at the girl, then silently closed the car window. I was speechless for a while. I encountered a terrorist attack on the Dragon Earth train for the first time. Is there any mistake? The passengers in the carriage did not dare to say a word. A strange aura spread. The train soon fell into silence. At this time, the Dragon Earth train began to move slowly, heading in one direction. It was fast at first, but soon it slowed down. What's going on? That the conductor looked at the scenery outside the window with a deep frown. Sudden. There was an explosion. The Dragon Earth train rolled over 360 degrees. The entire car body was thrown into the sky and then fell towards the ground. The passengers in the carriage were also jolted and fell on their seats. They were dizzy. Some people were even more dizzy. Vomited immediately. The train began to shake violently, as if something had broken down. The passengers in the train were panicked and at a loss. There was a loud rumble from the front end of the Dragon Earth train. Immediately afterwards, a large hole was knocked out of the rear of the car. The train attendant's face suddenly changed, and he immediately ordered the train attendant to stop and check the situation. The members of the Chongqing sect welcome everyone. A hoarse voice sounded. A group of men in black slowly appeared in the train. When the train attendant saw these people, his pupils shrank. This group of people are from an evil organization, specializing in some shady activities. It is not a good thing to meet them here. Human lifespan is limited. Even the lifespan of a beastmaster is only a few hundred years, but monsters are different. Their special structure and different life forms make them live longer than humans. There are many who can live for thousands of years, but there are always people who want to break the limit of lifespan and achieve immortality, so the Chongqing sect was born. They believe in immortality, pursue immortality, and use taboos to integrate the blood of monsters into their bodies, turning themselves into half-human, half-monster monsters, using themselves to control themselves. Their lifespan increases, and their strength continues to increase, but there are also flaws. Only monsters with higher blood levels can help them achieve immortality. For example, if the first bloodline of the snake is Lord level, then it must be Monarch level snake bloodline to help, and the race rules cannot be broken. So the Chongqing cult began to frantically search for rare beasts on Blue Star. Any monster with a high bloodline level is their target. Like the undead organization, there is a huge gang behind it. This time it will definitely not end well. Who are you? The conductor shouted coldly. It doesn't matter who we are, what matters is that you will be buried here forever. The leading man said with a smile. His voice sounded very low, like a serrated knife cutting a person's eardrum, which was very threatening. The conductor felt a chill in his heart. It seems that it will be difficult to leave alive today. You'd better let us go quickly. Our distress signal has been sent out. Once the strong men of Dragon Country arrive, it will be your death. The conductor tried to use provocation to make them give up chasing them. Haha. The man laughed sarcastically. You'd better save this sentence for the road to the underworld. Chapter 76, Green-Scaled Snake King. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. After speaking, he waved his hands gently in the air. Whoosh! 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 More than a dozen black figures descended from the sky. Each of them looked half human and half demon. Some had snake heads and snake tails, and some had fox heads and several tails behind their buttocks. Some have the heads of griffins, and some have the heads of lizards. It can be seen that most of the organs on these people have been transformed into monsters. There are fewer and fewer parts that belong to humans. It can even be said that it is gradually breaking away from the category of human beings. After these half-human and half-demon appeared, they began to besiege the train. All kinds of powerful energy were released. The train's body was destroyed, flames burst out, and tongues of fire spurted out. The passengers on the train were running around in panic. As the Dragon Earth train was broken open, these half-human, half-demon monsters began to kill the train crew. The conductor's pupils shrank suddenly. He immediately took out a bottle of special potion and crushed it. Thick white fog instantly filled the entire carriage. Try to delay as long as possible to wait for rescue to arrive. The conductor's speed increased sharply and he rushed outside. He is agile and extremely fast. The man headed by the immortal cult did not expect that the other party actually knew how to hide. He missed the attack and became furious. The dagger in his hand cut through the sky and stabbed the conductor. Pfft. The conductor dodged the dagger and knocked it away with one punch. He kicked off his feet and fled towards the door. The conductor secretly said that it was a pity that he could not escape. At this moment, a biting cold wind blew through, making his skin freeze. The conductor turned his head. The shadow of the fist continued to expand in his pupils, and finally with a bang, his head exploded and watermelon juice was everywhere on the floor. At this time, more and more demons appeared, and they had already surrounded the Dragon and Earth train. Even a fly could not fly out. Luo Yang felt that these guys were premeditated, seems to be looking for something. Luo Yang secretly thought that he was unlucky. He had been unlucky for 8 lifetimes and encountered a terrorist attack on his first trip. There is still such a big battle. Who the hell doesn't take other means of transportation? He quickly picked up his mobile phone and sent his location to Wu Jing, asking him to come to help as soon as possible. Now Luo Yang's heart was in his throat. It's really hard to stay calm in this big scene without any trump card. At this time, Wu Jing's role came into play. Luo Yang observed that there were at least 3 monarchs among these monsters, and he couldn't figure out who could have such a big reputation, attracting so many masters to encircle and suppress him. Everyone, look for traces of the jade-scaled Snake King. The demon leader of the Immortality sect said sternly, and then glanced around. Yes. At this time, Qingyun, who was sitting next to Luo Yang, had a tangled expression. Listening to the screams from the passengers outside, her heart couldn't help but lift. These are innocent passengers. But now she is suffering because of her. Her heart was full of self-blame, and she even hated herself a little. Miss, these immortal cultists are all here for you. Originally, we revealed our whereabouts to the outside world by taking an Airbus Eagle to Qingyun Academy, but in fact it was to confuse the public. But now that these immortal demons can still find us, it shows that there must be a traitor inside who has revealed his whereabouts. I have informed the family to send strong men to support. As long as the people from the family can hold on until they arrive, the rest of them will die. Miss, your safety is the most important thing. You are the hope of the Jade Scale Snake clan. Suddenly a voice sounded in Qingyun's ears, sound transmission through the air. This person is the guardian assigned to her by her family. He is also a powerful monarch, but he was alone. Whether Qingyun can be saved is a question. As long as 2 of the monarchs restrain him, Qingyun will be doomed. But Mr. Bai, seeing these innocent people die because of me, I feel uneasy. Qingyun whispered. Bai Lao said indifferently, Miss, you have to understand that there is no so-called cause and effect in this world, let alone an exchange of interests. They are also seeking benefits for themselves by doing this. If you are soft-hearted, it will only bring disaster to you. What do these people's lives have to do with you? But Qingyun gritted her teeth and finally said nothing. Bai Lao continued, our current location is very close to Yunhai City. If we don't leave now, I'm afraid we will all die here. Okay. Qingyun nodded after a moment of silence. Bai Lao said, I will hold them back first, remember to protect your own safety no matter what. After Bai Lao finished speaking, he quickly disappeared. Qingyun took a deep breath and looked at the intensive fighting outside the window and the tragic faces, and couldn't help but shed tears. Sorry. I will avenge you. I will make the Immortality cult pay the price with blood. Qingyun clenched her fists and gritted her teeth. This woman was requested by the Snake Lord by name. The power of the Green Scale Snake Emperor's bloodline will be of great help to the Snake Lord in breaking through his shackles. Go capture her and present her to the Snake Lord. It will be of great benefit to us. The leading demon stared closely at Qingyun's area. He had already sensed the fluctuations in Bai Lao's voice transmission just now. Follow the order. This woman has a protector. To be safe, the Bear King and the Tiger King will be responsible for restraining that person. I will go and capture the green-scaled Snake King. This mission cannot afford to fail. No one can bear the wrath of Lord Snake. The leading demon said in a deep voice, in order to prevent accidents, he was ready to do it himself. Under the net of heaven and earth, she had nowhere to escape. The green-scaled Snake King must be captured. How dare you, the remnant of the Chongqing sect, be so presumptuous? Suddenly, Bai Lao stood in the air, and behind him was a 100-meter giant snake. Its ferocious fangs, gloomy snake eyes, and huge tail all showed its power. The appearance exuded a terrifying pressure. Hiss! The giant snake roared to the sky. This was Bai Lao's pet, the green-scaled Snake King, and its aura had reached the monarch level. Old man, we brothers are here to meet you. The two monarch-level monsters tore off their clothes after saying that. A closer look revealed that this guy had absorbed the blood power of the dark gold terror claw bear and was now half man and half bear. He also had several meters long dark gold terror claws on his hands, emitting strong metallic fluctuations. The other man was huge, with a tiger head, muscular, and mottled tiger stripes, also emitting a strong aura, one on the left and one on the right surrounded by Lao. Roar! The 100-meter-long giant snake opened its mouth and exhaled. Suddenly, a strong wind howled, and the entire sky was blocked tightly. Old man, your blood is also very pure, the Bear King said excitedly. Today you will definitely die. Your blood will also be worshipped by Chongqing. Achieve eternal life. Chapter 77, Guardian of Sand. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. Monster. I will kill you with my own hands. Boom! The 100-meter-long snake tail whipped towards the Bear King, carrying destructive power. The Bear King did not dodge or evade, letting the giant snake's tail hit him. He took a step forward, stretched out his right claw, and slapped it hard with the dark gold claw. The giant snake's tail and the dark gold claw collided, and suddenly, a violent shock force broke out, and the air was torn into pieces and turned into dust. This space was faintly unstable. It was obvious that the combat power of these two monarch-level monsters was too strong, causing such powerful damage. Roar! The Bear King roared to the sky, and his voice shook the sky like thunder. His right claw instantly passed through the space and pierced into the snake's tail fiercely. There were bursts of bone-breaking sounds, and the scales on the giant snake's body shattered one after another. Ah! Ah! The giant snake wailed and struggled, trying to break free from the restraints of this huge force, but it could not get rid of this terrifying pulling force at all. Bang! The body of the giant snake hit the ground hard, cracks all over the ground, and blood flowed out of the cracks. The green-scale Snake King roared in pain, and the sound shook the sky. Although both parties were monarchs, it was obvious that the strength of the Bear King was far superior to his. Even though the green-scale Snake King was not famous for his physical body, the gap could be seen from a glimpse of the leopard. Hiss! Is this immortal believer so powerful? The green-scale Snake King can't get any advantage. Bai Lao's breathing became heavy. Roar! The Bear King did not intend to let it go. The dark gold terror claw grabbed the giant snake's tail with one claw and pulled it hard. the giant snake screamed and was dragged down from the air. The giant python struggled frantically in the air, trying to break free, but it had no effect at all. It was thrown to the ground, and suddenly, the whole ground was shaking. His Bai Lao's expression was solemn. The green-scaled snake king howled to the sky, and the green poisonous fog filled the sky, and a terrifying air wave swept towards them. The bear king and the tiger king both felt that their body functions were constantly declining in the field, accompanied by waves of tingling. This is the poisonous scale field of the green-scaled snake king. Once it is contaminated, the lord will die instantly. Only the monarch can resist it. He is worthy of being called a master of poison. The Tiger King said in a heavy tone. Some small tricks of using poison are not worthy of being called a master. The Bear King said disdainfully. Don't watch the show, let's fight quickly, draw out the blood power and then help the Rat King. Delay will change. After the Bear King said this, he swung his fist, and his body turned into a meteor, hitting the head of the green-scaled Snake King fiercely. Boom. The terrifying power erupted, and layers of golden halos lit up in his hands, and a huge sense of oppression came. This blow enveloped the giant snake. Boom. Boom. The roaring sound continued to sound every time the Bear King punched. It would cause a terrifying sound, and circles of ripples spread around. The body of the giant python had been smashed into a dent, and bright red liquid overflowed from the wound, staining a large area of soil red. Damn it, for the sake of the green-scale Snake King, the Snake Lord actually sent out all three of his generals. It seems that he is determined to win. Bai Lao looked cold. Kill. A hint of coldness flashed in the Bear King's eyes. He leaped fiercely and flew directly to the giant snake, slapping the giant snake's forehead with his giant palm. Ah! The giant snake roared in pain, and its head seemed to explode. Blood splattered, staining the entire mountain red. A golden light surged out of its body and spread around. Want to run? Dream on. The Bear King sneered repeatedly, and he raised his leg and stepped hard on the giant snake's head. Crack. The sound of bones breaking came. The head of the green-scale Snake King was completely shattered. At the same time, the Rat King was constantly approaching Qingyun, his eyes greedy. He could see that this woman was exactly what he was looking for. The jade-scaled Snake King was extremely important. Once captured, they would be able to obtain enough blood power, and the Snake Lord would also be able to break the shackles. The Rat King raised his hands, and an invisible palm wrapped Qingyun in. He didn't want to waste too much time, and directly fixed her in place. Then he stretched out his right hand and forcibly entered Qingyun's beast control space, preparing to forcibly take out the jade-scaled Snake King. Qingyun was shocked. She fought desperately. However, there was no effect. Her strength was far inferior to that of the Rat King, and this Rat King's strength was the top among the three kings. She was not able to compete at all. Damn it, you guys from the Chongqing sect, these dogs, the rats hiding in the stinky ditch, you will have retribution. Qingyun cursed angrily. Ha 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 ha, retribution. If there is retribution, can we still be so cool? The Rat King laughed coldly after he finished speaking. The Chongqing sect is a high and mighty existence. People like you should feel extremely honored to contribute to Chongqing. Glory to your sister, glory to your whole family. Ha ha ha, you are still stubborn, little girl, but you won't be able to do anything about it later. The Rat King grinned. Humph, I don't believe you dare to kill me. I tell you, as long as you kill me, your Chongqing sect will never be at peace. Qingyun threatened. Hee hee. The Rat King sneered. You bunch of despicable beasts, you Chongqing sect are only worthy of being slaves and working for others. Your Chongqing sect is even sealed in the 9 Netherworld Palace, and you can only survive. Qingyun gritted her teeth. The Rat King didn't respond. He has already seen the green-scaled Snake Emperor in Qingyun's beast-controlling space, and his body is filled with the power of rich blood. It is said that the richness of his bloodline makes him the top being in the entire Jade-scale Snake clan, and he even has the potential to break through disasters. Little guy, stop hiding, I see you. After the Rat King finished speaking, he reached out and grabbed the jade-scale Snake King. preparing to be taken away from the beast controlling space. As a result, a shocking energy burst out from Qingyun's body, then the Guardian of Sand appeared, an earthy yellow light curtain appeared around her, protecting her. You actually still have a backup plan. Someone should have put a ban on her beast control space. Once someone tries to take out the Jade Scale Snake King, it will be successfully activated, the Rat King sneered, then stepped down, the ground suddenly cracked open, and terrifying energy attacked from below. Bear King, Tiger King, come over and break this barrier together, that the Rat King shouted to the two people around him. Good, that the Bear King and Tiger King responded in unison. Kill. The two of them rushed over together, each using their spiritual power to punch the Sand Guardian. Bang. Bang. The Guardian of Sand shook violently, and the cracks became more and more obvious, but it still persisted. Humph, I want to see how long you can last. Tiger King and Bear King, destroy this Guardian of the Sand at once. The Rat King sneered. Good. Bring it on. Roar. The Bear King and the Tiger King roared in unison, their size increased dramatically, and they suddenly turned into two giant beasts that were 100 feet in size. They attacked the Sand Guardian from the left to the right. Click. The sound of cracking became clearer. Qingyun's pretty face is pale, she gritted her teeth, and the blood in her body drained rapidly. We must hold on until rescue arrives, Qingyun screamed in her heart, but at this time, a sharp bird call came. The three of them turned to look. I saw several huge fire crows flying down from the sky. The strength of these fire crows has reached the realm of monarchs. Their bodies are burning with blazing flames, and their wings are spread out to cover the sky. This is... The expressions of the Rat King and Tiger King changed drastically and they quickly retreated. Reinforcements are arriving so soon. Don't worry about it. Let's get the Jade Scale Snake King first. This shield is reaching its limit, the Rat King said hurriedly. The three of them continued to gather the Guardians of Fire and Sand accompanied by a loud bang. The Guardian of Sand finally couldn't bear the pressure and collapsed completely, turning into flying sand. Chapter 78 The Three Sons of Qingyun. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. The Guardian of Sand finally couldn't bear the pressure and collapsed completely, turning into flying sand. I felt several huge auras around me. The Rat King was shocked and immediately put the Jade Scale Snake King into his beast control bag. Don't be obsessed with fighting, retreat quickly. However, the next second, three figures appeared out of thin air, blocking their way. Why are you three? The Rat King looked embarrassed. These three people are the preparatory tutors of Qingyun Academy, and they are also the three youngest tutors of Qingyun Academy. They are also known as the third son of Qingyun. It has a good reputation throughout Blue Star. The three sons of Qingyun directly joined forces to block this space. The void trembled slightly, and dense space cracks emerged, like a dragnet, blocking the entire area. One of them seized the opportunity to kill all the monsters below, and at the same time used defensive secrets to protect the survivors. Rat King, how come your immortality cult has reduced itself to playing tricks? This is not your style. You actually dare to attack our Qingyun Academy disciples. Do you really think that our Qingyun Academy is vegetarian? Today, let us Qingyun, the third son, teach you a lesson and let you know what it means that there is heaven outside the world and there are people outside the world. The three of them shouted one after another. A halo of magic appeared around him, and three giant beasts poked out of the magic circle. Each giant beast exudes a monarch-level aura that is breathtaking. They are the red-tailed golden-eyed ape, the purple electric python and the black-striped black turtle. Their appearance causes powerful fluctuations. The strength of the three has reached that of a monarch, and their momentum is superior even among monarchs. The strength can be said to be extremely powerful. There is no comparison with the old and twilight Jade Scale Snake King. Their strength is vastly different. Rat King, Bear King, Tiger King, do you think you are guilty? The three of you actually dared to trespass into the territory of Qingyun Academy and attack Qingyun students, and you also ignored the alliance agreement to murder civilians. We, the third son of Qingyun, will definitely punish you and make you kneel in front of the Sanqing stone and repent for the rest of your life. The Mouse King and Tiger King were livid, and their eyes were full of resentment. He originally planned to get the green-scaled Snake King in the shortest possible time, but who would have thought that so many Qingyun would show up along the way, and, why did Qingyun Sanzi appear here? The distance between here and Qingyun University is not short, but it was too late to think about this at this moment. The three kings came hand in hand, with overwhelming power, and once other monarchs arrive, no matter how strong they are, they will not be able to withstand such consumption. It's not up to you three to decide whether I'm guilty or not. The Rat King gritted his teeth. Today is the end of you, there is no escape for you. Humph. If you want to fight, fight. The third son Qingyun has a great reputation, and we also want to ask for advice. The Rat King gritted his teeth. His strength is in the late monarch stage, and the strength of the Bear King and Tiger King is not inferior to him, so even if the three kings join forces, he is not afraid at all. Court death! Qingyun and his three sons shouted angrily at the same time. The next second, the three people jumped up, not to be outdone. The Bear King and Tiger King all pounced on Qingyun Sanzi. Boom! 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 The red-tailed golden-eyed ape, purple electric python and black-striped black turtle each found their targets. Let out a shocking roar. Third son Qingyun, do you really think I'm afraid of you? The Rat King narrowed his eyes slightly, with a hint of ferocity in his eyes. He appears extremely arrogant on the surface, but he is extremely delicate on the inside. I don't want to fight at all, so the message was sent secretly. You pretend to be invincible in the melee later, and then I take the opportunity to hold them back. The two of you work together to tear open a space exit, and escape separately with the Jade Scale Snake Emperor. One by one you can escape. Be sure to hand over the Jade Scale Snake Emperor to the snake in your hands. Brother, what should you do? There is no one with such a great reputation. If the three of them dare to be so presumptuous, there must be something extraordinary about them. You alone are too risky for the three of them. King Xiong said in a solemn tone. That's right, brother. If you want to fight, we'll fight. The three of us are not vegetarians, Tiger King echoed. It doesn't matter. The longer we delay, the more dangerous we will be. The Rat King said lightly. Brother, don't be brave. The three of us working together will definitely be able to stop the three of them, and it's better than you fighting three of them one at a time. King Bear said. Brother, King Xiong is right. The three of us can't live without one of us. Do you still remember the vows we made? We share blessings and share hardships. Brother, you can't break your promise. Tiger King said. You two are confused. Brother, every time there is danger, you are the first to rush. We all know that, but this time it is a matter of life and death. We must not be reckless, otherwise we will not be able to survive even if we escape. King Xiong persuaded Road. His words made the Rat King feel warm in his heart. The eye sockets are also slightly red. The three brothers have experienced many storms together. The three of them had longed to become excellent beast masters, but they had no talent for beast control and could not open up a space for beast control. This also prevents them from contracting pet beasts. They were so confused that they couldn't remember how many tears they shed, but God seemed to have played a joke on them. Let them just become mediocre people. But suddenly one day, a man in black robes found them. Tell them, do you want to be stronger? In this way, they got here step by step. Once upon a time, they were just young people who wanted to become beast masters, but this time, they have to be independent too. Brother, we all believe in you. Don't abandon us. Yes, brother, Tiger King and I are willing to fight side by side with you. Tiger King and Bear King looked at Rat King firmly. They knew that brother had a very stubborn temper and would not back down if confronted head-on. Ha, my good brother, Rat King couldn't help but said excitedly, what virtue and ability do I have to deserve such treatment from you? Although the three sons of Qingyun are powerful, it is not easy to deal with them, not to mention that the three brothers have participated in countless battles of all sizes, and countless enemies have fallen under their hands. The tacit understanding is unmatched. It is impossible to easily take down the three people. Brother, don't be fussy. Today, either you die or I die. that the three people said in unison, with overwhelming momentum. The Rat King shouted angrily. The next moment, the three people attacked at the same time, directly transformed into the strongest form. Three monsters hundreds of feet tall fell from the sky, the phantoms of the three demon beasts, the dark gold terror claw bear, the sky-devouring rat, and the netherworld demon tiger, stood proudly, and the three of them were at their peak of fighting spirit. At this moment, they were almost completely transformed into demon beasts. Even if someone saw it, it would be hard to imagine that they were transformed from humans, and no human characteristics could be seen. The three pets of the three sons of Qingyun were not to be outdone, the red-tailed golden-eyed ape, the black-striped black turtle, the purple lightning crazy python, and the black-striped black turtle also entered their strongest form. Various energies roared between heaven and earth, turning into three torrents that swept across the sky. The power of the three monarchs was superimposed. It was simply destructive. The phantoms of the demon beast stood proudly, and the whole body burst out with earth-shaking demonic energy. Boom 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 boom. The phantoms of the three demon beasts collided fiercely with the phantoms of the dark gold terror claw bear, the sky-devouring rat, and the netherworld demon tiger. The sky shook and the earth trembled. The mountains on all sides were overturned, and countless trees collapsed. The terrifying shock wave swept across, raising a 1,000-foot wave. Countless buildings were reduced to ruins. The entire area was in ruins. Chapter 79, The Fight is Fierce. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The phantoms of the three monster beasts were washed away, and several people were blown away by the aftermath, creating several deep craters on the ground, but they still refused to give up, quickly got up, and attacked each other again. We have to fight until the sky is dark and the earth is dark. Humph. Do you really think we are weak, Persimmons? The Bear King snorted coldly, took a step forward, and his body rose from the ground, pressing down on the sky like Mount Tai. The hair on his body stood on end like steel needles, and he swung his fists violently. Suddenly violent demonic energy surged out. Ho ho! The dark gold terror claw surged to 1,000 feet, suppressing it like a towering mountain. The six people are directly divided into three space battlefields. His opponent is the black-striped black turtle, which is known as absolute defense. The dark gold dreadclaw bear is also famous for its violent attacks, so this battle is bound to be exciting. The black-striped black turtle is hundreds of meters in size. Its body is as huge as a mountain, and it can cause hurricanes with every breath. There were dense runes flashing on his body. Moreover, he also has a powerful ancient bloodline and a strong Xuanwu bloodline in his body. In the world of monsters and beasts, Xuanwu can be said to be the top race. Moreover, the black-striped black turtle's paper strength is still higher than that of the dark gold terrorclaw bear. The attack of the dark gold dreadclaw bear is invincible, but this time it landed on the iron plate. Rumble. The dark gold fear claws collided with the black turtle's body, making a deafening roar, and the earth trembled. The two of them stepped back tens of meters each. A look of surprise flashed in their eyes. I didn't expect that the power of your bloodline would actually reach half a disaster. The dark gold terrorclaw bear's eyes were full of solemnity, but I'm not bad either. As soon as he finished speaking, he rushed forward. Rumble. Golden light flashed all over his body, and he rounded his arms and swung them out violently. Dark gold fear claw transformation. This is the dark gold terrorclaw bear's unique transformation move. It only needs to be used once to double the strength of the physical body, and even exceed the original limit. Roar! That the dark gold terrorclaw bear looked up to the sky and roared, slapping its palms out like the hands of a god. Boom! The air exploded like thunder. The black-striped black turtle did not dare to neglect, and opened his mouth to let out a breath of turbid air. It also has a fist-sized bead in its mouth, that was a unique innate magical power among their clan, called Black Turtle Breath. Breathing it out in one breath is like spitting out a cloud of turbid mist, which contains endless majesty and can corrode all things and make people fearful. Bang! Bang! That the two forces collided. The black-striped black turtle's black turtle breath failed to stop the attack of the dark gold fearclaw bear. It was directly shattered into powder. The dark gold terrorclaw bear took advantage of the victory and pursued it, punching the black-striped black turtle in the stomach. Boom! The violent impact made the eardrums hurt, and a large amount of bright red sprayed out from the belly of the black-striped black turtle. Immediately afterwards, its body was blown away. At the same time, other space battlefields, the strongest Rat King fights against the strongest red-tailed golden-eyed ape among the three Qingyun suns. Ho ho ho! The two monster beasts let out deafening roars. Boom! Bang! Puff! The two sides fought wildly. The red-tailed golden-eyed ape is extremely powerful, capable of lifting mountains and possessing unparalleled power. The Rat King is flexible and unpredictable, and each claw contains terrifying tearing power. The confrontation between the two monster beasts caused the surrounding space to continuously break and collapse, causing violent explosions. Rumble. The sky-devouring rat is so powerful that the red-tailed golden-eyed ape can't do anything about it. The two sides fell into a stalemate for a while. Sudden. The Rat King was the first to attack. He used his unique skill. The rat leaps into the sky, he treads the void. The body was like an arrow from the string, attacking towards the red-tailed golden-eyed ape, and at the same time stretched out his right hand. The void trembled. A sharp claw covering the stars appeared in midair. This is the Rat King's own attack skill. Call out, that the sharp claws tore through the sky and streaked across the sky, like a sharp sword. Not to be outdone, the red-tailed golden-eyed ape also waved his fist and hit the sharp claw. The power of the fist is so vast that it seems to be able to destroy the world. Neither side gained any advantage in this attack. The two figures flew back each other, their auras showing a bit of embarrassment. Other side. The netherworld devil tiger flicked his arms, and a black mist filled the air. There were faint screams in the black fog, and black ghosts emerged one after another. One after another ghostly shadows rushed towards the purple lightning python like a tide. Bang 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 bang. The purple lightning python also fought back unceremoniously. Purple thunder intertwined, the ghost shadow was smashed into pieces. Ouch ouch ouch. A series of shrill wails echoed throughout the world. These ghosts are summoned by the netherworld devil tiger. Although they can see in the dark, they are not afraid of light. Therefore, the thunder power of the purple electric python will do more harm to them. Ouch ouch ouch. The purple electric python kept attacking, and thunder roared down from the sky, continuously smashing the ghostly shadow of the netherworld devil tiger into pieces. The nether demon tiger's face was a little ugly. It didn't expect that the thunder power of the purple lightning crazy python would be so terrifying that it could easily destroy its ghost, and every attack brought great pain. The space battlefield at this time was extremely tense. Both sides entered a white-hot stage. The three sons of Qingyun didn't expect that the other party would be so difficult to deal with. They are worthy of being the three famous generals of the Chongqing sect. Each of them can stand on their own. Outside the space battlefield, Luo Yang, hiding in the cave, looked at the Qingyun order in his hand. This was given to him by Motu, saying that it can play a positioning role when encountering danger, and if there are Qingyun students nearby who sense it, they will come to support. Qingyao has fallen into a coma at this moment because the beast control space has been severely damaged. Luo Yang has also learned that these people were attracted by her. He doesn't know why you are so outstanding among your peers and suffered such a terrible attack. Why didn't anyone come to chase me? As the pets of the three sons of Qingyun are fighting in the space, what happened inside cannot be seen by the outside world at all. Fortunately, the monsters outside were cleared out in time, otherwise, they would not know how they died. Although Bai Lao's pet died in the battle and he himself suffered a huge backlash, he still dragged his bent body to protect Qingyao. Luo Yang saw that the situation had stabilized and hurriedly prepared to run away. This outside world is too dangerous. It is said that monarchs are extremely rare, but do you believe that you can encounter so many at any time? There are several of them at once. Fuck, we can't stay here. Who knows if these so-called Qingyun three sons can suppress them? Let's run away quickly. Luo Yang said tremblingly. In his eyes, nothing can compare to his life. It is a typical case of I would rather die than die with my friends. These days, monarch-level strongmen are not resistant to beatings. Next time, I will have to use a whole disaster-level thug, otherwise don't even think about me coming out of the mountain. Didn't you see how this female monarch-level protector was beaten? The pet was beaten to pieces, and it looks like he can't survive. Chapter 80, the ancient ghost clan. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Suddenly, a pair of eyes noticed Luo Yang, and a cold light flashed in his eyes, which disappeared in a flash. Luo Yang also felt that gaze. He was so scared that he almost lost his soul. Oh no, this guy is not targeting us, right? Luo Yang's face was pale. Hoo. His heartbeat accelerated, and his hair stood up. His luck was so bad. He could still encounter monsters even when hiding here. It's over, I'm going to die. Luo Yang wanted to cry but had no tears. Swoosh. A sound of breaking wind suddenly sounded, and then a huge hand as black as ink grabbed Luo Yang's head. Oh my god. Luo Yang was scared to death. This was too sudden. Where did this guy come from? Boom. At the critical moment, a brilliant golden light burst out, blowing the big hand into pieces. How dare you? A deep voice resounded through the world. Golden light descended from the sky. Wu Jing stood in the void. Behind him stood a Taiji Yuanzuan, who was 100 feet tall. He was surrounded by golden light, with a majestic and mighty aura, exuding an immortal flavor, giving people a feeling of being out of touch with the world. Taiji Yuanzuan. It represents the harmony of yin and yang, an endless life. Taiji Yuanzuan, as the name suggests, controls the power of life and death. At this time, Luo Yang finally saw the true face of the Black Shadow, a skeleton with a hideous face. Fuck, it's a Ghost Clan strongman, Luo Yang exclaimed after seeing the other party's appearance. The Ghost Clan strongmen like to devour flesh and blood the most, and the essence is the nourishment for cultivation, absorbing the spirit and flesh and blood in it. They are the most brutal and evil existence, because their cultivation has reached the monarch level. They have touched the origin of life. As long as they are not killed by the heavenly tribulation, their lives are extremely long. And the Ghost Clan's cultivation is different from that of monsters. They don't need to break through the shackles of blood, they just need to devour flesh and blood, essence, and the essence will be transformed into cultivation. It is estimated that the huge blood here attracted them. No. They are immortal believers. The Ghost Clan strongmen have believers' tokens. They are probably here to support. Roar, roar, roar. The ghostly figure appeared again. Roar. He roared. His body expanded to about 3 meters, his skin was as dark as iron, with a cold and eerie luster, full of strange power. He held a huge ghost claw, which seemed to be cast from steel, containing terrible power fluctuations. His aura was even more terrible to the extreme. Roar. The ghost general level existence roared to the sky, as if he wanted to bite the sky. A terrible airflow spewed out from his mouth and nose. The terrifying pressure that destroyed the world descended. This pressure enveloped the entire mountain. Luo Yang felt his whole body become heavy, as if he was stuck in a quagmire and it was difficult for him to move. The strength of the monarch-level strongman was too strong, and he could not resist it at all. I saw. Taiji Yuanzuan stepped on the Taiji formation diagram. A layer of golden light appeared on the Taiji formation diagram, protecting him from being disturbed. Roar. The roar of the Ghost Clan strongman became stronger and stronger. Taiji Yuanzuan's figure flashed, and he rushed to the ghost in an instant. Roar. Taiji Yuanzuan opened his mouth and roared. Circles of golden ripples spread out, forming a vortex, sweeping towards the ghost. Boom. The vortex crushed and the space trembled. Ah! The ghost screamed in fear and wanted to escape, but he didn't expect. Taiji Yuanzuan's attack was 10 times faster than his. Crack, crack. The space twisted and collapsed. Taiji Yuanzuan crushed all the way. Finally, it hit the black fog hard, and suddenly, the black fog burst. After the black fog burst, the true face of the ghost was revealed. Ha ha ha. A rampant laugh sounded. I saw that the black shadow turned into a human form. He held a bone sword in his hand. The bone sword exuded a dark light and a terrible breath. He held the bone sword in his hand and pointed it directly at Taiji Yuanzuan. I am from the ancient Ghost Clan. You, a little monarch, dared to hurt me. You are simply looking for death. Ancient Ghost Clan. Luo Yang's face changed slightly. This race is extremely powerful. He has heard of it. It is said that this race was formed by the fall of some gods in the ancient times, and the corpses were turned into ancient ghosts. They are bloodthirsty. take pleasure in killing, and specialize in robbing the souls, spirits of living beings to improve their own strength. The number of ancient ghosts is very small, but there are also many ancient ghosts who have survived to this day, and their strength is extremely powerful. The strength of these people is almost as strong as the disaster-level strongmen of the human race. No matter who you are, if you dare to provoke me, you will only die. Taiji Yuanzuan's voice was cold, a hint of murderous intent flashed in his eyes, and the Taiji runes on his body shone, turning into a long sword, slashing towards the ghost. Ancient magic weapon. Seeing the Taiji magic weapon displayed by Taiji Yuanzuan, the ghost sneered. Although the Taiji magic weapon displayed by Taiji Yuanzuan was powerful, it was only limited to the peak of the monarch level. Taichu God and Demon Seal. Taiji Yuanzuan shouted. This was the ultimate killing skill he understood after his evolution. He urged the Taiji magic weapon and slapped it towards the ghost. Boom boom. Cracks appeared in the void. That was the aftermath of the Taiji magic weapon, cutting the void into pieces. Boom. The Taichu God and Demon Seal hit the ghost hard. A terrible force that could destroy the world burst out. 9 huge stars appeared on the Taichu God and Demon Seal, emitting an extremely terrifying aura, as if it was the will of heaven. Suppressing the ghost, an unparalleled force swept out. The clothes on the ghost were instantly shattered, revealing a white leather armor. The leather armor was covered with mysterious and complicated ancient characters. Hum. The ghost snorted coldly and swung the bone sword in his hand. Buzz. The bone sword cut through the sky and slashed towards the Taichu God and Demon Seal. The two collided, and a void was annihilated. Puff. A stream of blood spurted out. The ghost was repelled, and the bones on his body were broken. Roar. The ghost roared in pain, and a crazy look appeared in his eyes. It didn't expect that it would be defeated by a monarch-level monster and even seriously injured. This is simply a shame.